As a man with narcissistic personality disorder, when I get angry, I can be very, very convincing, right? Especially if you're a woman and you love me, right? If you love him and they blow up and get mad, and scare you, your heart rate goes up, you might sweat, you might even leave the house. But a lot of times they do that to get a reaction out of you and see what your reaction is. It's mainly to see if you cry, if you shake, if you tremble, if you beg and plead, right? But most times, when a man with NPD blows up and watches you react in fear, what it does is it makes him feel even more comfortable. It makes him feel secure in knowing that you're not going to go right away. They at least have a few months, maybe even a couple of years to continue to abuse you. I know that sounds horrible, but that's a scare tactic. Narcissistic people, narcissists, especially men that are like high performers. I was a very high performer in the Navy. I was always achieving, overachieving. And so with that, they don't want to ruin their reputation of being strong, right? Successful, always creating projects. People always want to be around. They want to be the center of attention. They don't want to ruin their reputation. So believe me when I tell you, when they're yelling and screaming and going off, it's to do two things: to keep you around and to make sure you don't tell on them. They instill fear. Make sure you don't tell them because they don't want to ruin their reputation of being successful, being an entertainer, people paying money to see them, being a leader in the military, people loving on them and thinking that they're the best person that they've ever met. They're the greatest leader. So they don't want to ruin their reputation. So what they do, they instill fear. But the main thing in all of this, when they instill fear and they continue to instill fear and they continue to yell at you and scream at you, berate you and abuse you, to be honest, they are really afraid of losing you and losing control over you. So once you start to gather yourself and once you start to speak up and once you start to talk back, I'm not saying talk back and put them down calling names because the malignant narcissists are the violent ones. I'm not saying do that because I don't want you to get hurt. But once you start standing up for yourself and setting boundaries, I know that term is just used loosely, but make sure the boundaries are boulders, right? They can't get past them. Once you start doing that and taking up for yourself and speaking up for yourself, and then growing, moving on, getting better, doing different things without them, that's when they start to worry. But until then, when you give them all the control and you shake and shiver and cry and stomp and don't leave the house because they instill fear in you, all you're doing is giving them more power. They don't want to lose you, and they don't want to ruin their reputation. Keep that in mind. Regardless of how loud they are and what they say, they don't want to lose you. They don't want to ruin their reputation, so they do anything to keep you around. And if that means to scare you, make you sick to your stomach, you don't want to leave the house, you got rings around your eyes, you're taking days off of work, you're smoking more, you're drinking more. If it means for them to take you to that point, they'll do it, as long as they have that firm grasp on you. Keep that in mind. So don't fall for it. They don't want to ruin their reputation, and they don't want to lose you.